Well. Oh, it's happened again.
Liverpool.
That's the energy I'm on. I don't have
Who
to.
with though?
I don't have
with this. It's happened again with a couple teams. We started.
Let's specify the targets.
You know what? Let's start with the main headline. Who's gonna win the league?
Right now,
It's gonna be City.
Alright, cool. Are we in? We've
It's gonna
agreed.
be City.
I think it's good. Yeah.
It's gonna be
There's
City.
no debate. There's no debate.
I ain't
is
gonna
there?
debate it now.
Cool. So why has this happened? Why? How? Why? Who allowed this to happen?
I'll be honest with you.
Listen,
so many things that can be said.
It's
so
just,
many things.
bottling is in Liverpool's DNA.
It is.
It's in Liverpool's DNA. So I tell you, I don't even know where it can start. I don't even know where to start.
I literally think no.
Should I start?
Go for
You
it.
start.
Go
You
for
start.
Alright, cool. Because I have time on my hands, right? So I did a bit of, I was looking around to see,
Deep and
how the
deep
season's
research.
been. Yeah, just a bit of, some Googles, as you do. So after 21 games played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool were, I think it was 4 points ahead.
Mm.
Then they extended it to 7, and then they played City. And there was the opportunity for them to extend it to 10, but they lost.
That was a turning point.
They lost. That was a few games ago, right? But now City have managed to
Fully turn it
2
around.
points ahead.
That is a serious bowl.
It
That
is.
is a serious bowl.
They were
That is a
7
serious
points.
bowl.
7. That's 2 wins and a draw.
I think since that defeat as well, I think that for me has mentally rattled them. And I think before that, everyone was saying how, this Liverpool side, you know what, they're resilient now.
Yeah.
They're pulling out results.
They
They're
can
getting the
defend
grind.
now,
Yeah, they can defend.
Which they
So
can. They can still defend.
And they can.
Defending, yeah.
But I
Defensively,
think
they're
that's
still
where
patterned.
everyone was saying at the start of the season they've almost got no holes left now. And I think that City game really exposed them because since then, how many draws is it? That our last 5 games they've drawn 3.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you cannot win a title
Title like that.
in what we call squeaky bum time around this time of the
And
season.
the thing is, there was a point in the season where, obviously, for Liverpool to go 7 points up, it's 7 points clear. There was a
That's
point where
crazy.
everyone thought, City are
Gonna
fumbling it.
Yeah.
But then this is where experience, this is where doing it, being
This is
winners,
where, yeah,
this is where
being
having
a
a winner,
doing
like,
your job.
No,
like Pep
facts.
in charge,
Facts.
Makes a
it
difference.
makes a massive difference because from there, City have won 8 of their last 9.
They've won 5 out of 5 in the
5
last.
out of 5, and now they're back top of the league. This
And
is
the thing
where
is, they're doing it good.
experience
They're doing it
counts.
bad. They're doing it ugly. Like 1-0 against Bournemouth. They should have. They played them off the park. 1-0.
But they even have a
beating
shot.
teams.
But they're still having games where they're blowing teams out
Yeah.
as well.
Away.
So it's
Like they're not slowing down.
No,
and I think what you said there is important, the mental aspect of it,
Yeah.
where City have done this before now. Some of those players a couple of times now.
Yeah.
I don't think Liverpool have that. And I think one thing that starts to sink in after a while, the same way a winner mentality can set in, a loser mentality can set in.
And
Tell you
I
what,
think
I'm
I
not
think-
buying all of this though, because my thing is right. We said that defensively they're better and this and that, right? Last season their problem was they were drawing too many games. They've drawn 7 this season, so nothing's changed.
But
They've made it look pretty, and they've got one Dutch guy at the back that's defending, but suddenly we've been hoodwinked. Essentially, if you think about it properly, Liverpool have hoodwinked us this season. They've lost 1 game, and they've still managed to give the league. They've gifted the league to City.
Yeah. And
We've been hoodwinked.
Liverpool did this in about in 09 or something as well. They had too many draws.
Yeah.
under Benitez.
Yeah, and they lost. I think it was
And
1
then-
or 2 games.
yeah, and
and
Rodgers
they
as
didn't
well.
win the league.
And then Rodgers as well. So it's
So,
like I said,
what has really changed then?
I mean, as I said,
Nothing.
I think it's in their DNA. I think it's in their DNA.
Here's the thing,
The difference is with Liverpool is that when it starts getting to that, as you said, squeaky
Squeaky
bum
bum
time.
yeah.
What reference do they have to look back on and be like, you know what?
Champions
This
League
club
runs,
have
that-
done it. This club have done it.
Champions League runs.
Their greatest ever player, he slipped and he bottled it himself. So
Facts.
they have nothing to look back on. City, they're three titles.
3
deep.
titles in the last,
And
what, how many years?
I think chasing. Well, City have put themselves in an alright position by chasing the league because doing back to back, as it's shown lately, is
hard.
So
It's
hard.
hard.
It's so hard
No,
to
No
do.
team's done it
So-
in how long?
City didn't lead from the front. They haven't got that pressure that, it has to get
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have
yeah,
to-
yeah,
This is
yeah.
going to sit. They've just got to chase
On
it.
the
chase it,
other
chase it,
hand,
and it's
though,
worked that
City
way.
have been competing on multiple fronts.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think
pressure
that
itself.
is where
That's
this
where you
season
become a
could
great
still
side.
turn. Is it could still play a part is depending on out of them two who also goes further in Europe. I think
100%.
if Liverpool or City really see themselves as
Liverpool aren't
realistic.
even in a good position for that as well.
And that's the thing is last year, and I always say with any cup run, you need a certain bit of luck. And I'm not sure whether that luck is going Liverpool's way at the minute, especially when the tide's starting to turn like this now.
How much of a part does the manager have to play in this?
This is what I was going to say.
As devil's advocate, that how...
But I said a long time ago, and people were like, "Oh,
they
what
laughed.
What did you say?"
They laughed.
I don't need
go
to
on.
say
Say
too
what you
much.
said. Say what you said.
I said Klopp is a fraud. Yeah, and I think I'm getting proven right again. Because you can carry Liverpool, you can get Liverpool to this point, like you can get them to the final, but you're losing. Now you're getting them to this position.
But
everyone will say what an improvement, but what has he done that Brendan Rodgers hasn't done?
No,
you said that Mo Salah's a big player as well.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You said that
so
Mo
your
Salah's a
boy
big
Mo
player as
Salah
well.
that you've been bigging up, because for me, I'll be honest with you, I lay more of this blame with the players than I do with the managers. Like players like Salah. Big games this season. Where's he been? Against Everton just now, empty. United, where was he? Chelsea.
It's not.
City.
But
it's not.
question.
We need answers. Don't need
I
We need answers, bruv.
I think with Mo Salah, like you can't defend what he's done in the big games. That's a fact, yeah. But at the end of the day, he's still done a lot for Liverpool's season at the moment, yeah. So where Liverpool have got match winning points, still second top scorer in league and stuff. So he's done his job.
Okay, so
Wait.
wait.
In the big games, he might not have done his job.
That's his job.
That's
his job.
But there's There's
tap the book and lie.
why is it all the attention is on Mo Salah? Yeah,
It's not.
when Liverpool's
No,
number,
it's on three of it.
There's more to it, but that's where
Liverpool's
it
number
starts.
9
Gets-
has been poor
He has
all season and gets
No, but
away with
he
it
makes
because
he makes a lot of tackles.
Firmino's shocking. No, Firmino's been bad
they're
this
talking
season.
about Firmino like he's
But in the
Wan
big
Bissaka.
games,
like he's a
but
centre
the-
half.
you look at the last couple of games where Liverpool have dropped points, though. Those are the games where Salah's gone missing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like when
need that player.
a team is going through them sort of moments, you need your big player to come and step
true,
up.
that's
That's
true.
why he got paid the big bucks this summer.
true, that's
So
true.
My
now
thing
all
is
of
though,
this,
right, we
and
said
I'm not
7
saying he's
draws,
a
right?
one-season wonder now,
Yeah.
No,
but I'm
because he's
saying
definitely proved
he's
that
proved
step
himself,
up
yeah.
in the
He's a
big
wonder.
moments.
Because we said 7 draws, right? The difference between a draw and a win is scoring the decisive goal.
But I think that comes a lot down to Klopp's setup as well.
But that's the thing. I don't think so. I think their setup has made them better defensively this year. Like we've
defensively, but I think it's taken a lot out of them offensively. The front three are not playing as well as they were last season.
Do you know where I think that stems from? The midfield.
The midfield,
The midfield is
That
shocking.
midfield gives you no goals and no creativity.
But what was
you look at
what was
Henderson,
what was Naby
Milner, and
Keita
Wijnaldum.
brought-
They're
what was
all
Naby- What was
workhorses.
Naby Keita brought in for?
to run.
So we can accept that
No,
Naby
he
Keita.
was
another
he was
workhorse.
brought in to run.
So
He's another workhorse.
So he's a flop.
I wouldn't say it's
No,
too
but
early to say
no,
a flop.
I wouldn't say a flop.
But he's
But-
not the standard of what they
By
thought he was going
now,
to bring in.
Paul Pogba was being called a flop. So Keita's a flop.
Yeah,
Nah.
but
Paul Pogba was
Paul
2 years
dances,
into
that's
it.
why.
Nah,
of
Paul
nah.
Pogba
for
dances.
being
That's why they
called
like
a
to
flop.
call him a flop. But
That's
you
the
know,
truth.
But I think that
Graham
midfield
Souness,
just doesn't come-
Graham Souness' energy for Paul Pogba.
he's a broke.
He needs to bring that to
No,
the
he
Liverpool
is a
midfield.
Bring
man.
that
He
energy
needs
to
the
that.
whole of
Mr.
You
Number
see
8.
Henderson,
Big
right?
facts.
You see Henderson, right?
Yeah.
That's
Headless
their club captain.
Headless
Not the
chicken.
captain. That's your club captain.
Clown. That is a
People
clown.
are telling me that
I'm sorry.
Ronaldo is world class.
That is
There's-
poor.
The only
So-
thing that's world
that
class
is
about
poor.
Ronaldo, mate, if we're
Like-
being realistic, right, is his trims. Apart from that, what does he do?
No, he's
Yeah,
a good,
no, but what-
no.
what
I'll
is-
be
what
real
does
with you.
that
He's a
midfield do?
useful
What
rotation
does-
player to have.
What does that midfield do?
He's a good squad player to have, but a player like Henderson and Milner, you can't build your midfield
Bro, I
around
hear
that.
all of that, but what does that midfield do for that Liverpool team?
Nothing.
They keep the ball moving.
What,
They
pressure?
keep it ticking. They keep
Pressure.
it ticking.
Jorginho does that by himself.
Yeah, but Wijnaldum's a better version of like Kovacic or something.
That's
He
what
can-
I
he-
think,
He moves
man.
the
It's-
ball well.
So what?
He
So
can
what are the
keep
other
it-
two
Big
for?
moments
What are the
as well.
other
He
two for?
scored a couple goals.
What are the other two for?
Who's that?
It's obviously
Dove?
bruv, it's not only
It's
just
a-
it's not only just Liverpool's defense that's doing well. Their midfield are defensively very well defending.
No,
on
but
the
my
side
thing
as
is,
well.
what is the
Defending-
midfield in? Let's
Offensively,
let's
it's
be
not
realistic
helping.
here now.
Offensively, it's not helping.
They've got a front three, right? And we know that they're reliant on the front three
Yeah.
because when the front three are not playing well, they don't score goals. Like today, they don't do anything. So, what is their midfield there for? Because there's times where
So
if you
what
watch
you're
their
saying,
games-
but what you're saying, so then if you're saying that, then how can you be putting so much energy on Salah? Because at the end of the day,
no,
then,
I'm
then
addressing
shouldn't
the
their
I'm
midfield-
addressing the whole situation now. And this is why when you said Klopp, if you dig into it, I don't get it now because your front three are so reliant on them to score goals. You don't rely on anyone else to really score goals and whatnot. The midweek game for me showed a lot because nothing came from the midfield. It was the fullbacks
Nothing.
and your forwards.
And
so what's your what is the midfield for?
Just headless chickens that run around. I kid you not. And that's the issue with Liverpool is they still have not replaced Coutinho since he left, or what he brings to that midfield.
Ox did well.
Ox did well, and I think he's almost going to be a new signing when he comes back. And he's shown that previously when he's had a big injury, he can come back. Yeah. So for me, they need some spark from that midfield because going forward they haven't got enough.
I feel like not enough attention is being put onto
Klopp. I was going to say this.
You can't
forgive this. Last year, what happened?
You can't bottle this.
Last year, what happened? You can't bottle 7 points. Do you know what 7 points is? Listen. 7 points means that the opposition have to win 2 games and draw, and you have to lose the equivalent.
But it's not only even that. It's the fact that Liverpool finally spent. They were finally saying this is going to be their time.
Year.
They idolize the job that Jurgen Klopp has done there. But again, tell me what Jurgen Klopp has done that Brendan Rodgers has not. Once you can tell me that,
but I think this is the first year where he's had pressure on him.
Last year, what happened?
Last year, Champions League final. But that was an overachievement.
No, but
let's
what happened?
be real. That was an overachievement.
Whether it's an overachievement, underachievement, mid-achievement, sideways achievement,
what happened? We have to take it into this context, bro.
The finish line was there, and what happened?
He didn't get to it.
Alright, cool.
As usual.
What's happening right now?
It's been the trend, but that's where we're saying Liverpool have developed this losing mentality. For me, it's a recurring thing of them losing the finals, which is why they're choking up now. But I don't think you can blame that on the manager. That's just a club, and even the players. I don't think.
Isn't the manager meant to come and change the culture?
It's interesting you mentioned.
I think Klopp is responsible for a lot of success of what's happened at Liverpool. I get that. I get what you're saying.
What's success?
Thank you.
Performing above expectations, I'll say.
So Pochettino success.
Alright, cool.
Pochettino.
I want to ask a question. You see,
success level.
When we reference Spurs, yeah, are we referencing them in the battle for top 4? Are we referencing them that they dropped from the battle for the league? Just so I know where the energy is today. Like,
Spurs don't know what their targets are anymore. They're just doing that raffle.
Start of the season, Spurs, their target would have been to obviously top 4. Let's be realistic. Okay, it wouldn't have been competing for the title.
It would have been to try and get some silverware as well.
It would have been, would have been nice, but not an expectation, like I'll always say.
It would be an expectation.
When you've spent 0 in January and 0 in the summer, there's no expectation. You can't expect when you've spent nada.
Alright, cool. Because just that context is important, isn't it?
Let's go. You wanna choose it when you want the context, yeah?
This guy. Because I don't understand how you man were 2 points behind City, yeah. Tottenham Hotspur.
How many games did City have at that point?
No, there
was no games in hand. Everyone played the same game.
The same amount of games.
Cool.
And then if you fast forward a few weeks, like if Chelsea win their game in hand, like you man, you're where?
They're battling. Like if you
you're
think
battling
about
for top 4.
If I got to keep the same energy. So if I'm calling Liverpool bottlers, then what the hell are Spurs?
Here's the thing.
What the hell?
There was nothing to bottle in the first place. This is what I'm telling you, lot. Let me finish. Just because you come within 5 points of the big boys, or let's say 2 points, at no point were we realistic.
So we're City
out of the
title race where Liverpool were 7 points clear.
No.
They were in the title
race.
They were still in the title race, but that's City. The expectation for City and the expectation for Spurs
points
are different.
Points, bro. Don't try.
You say that. You got to remember at this point.
A game of how many minutes? 90 minutes. And what's the objective?
When we've got the 2 points, we've got the injury hit. We've spent no money in summer, and you expect Spurs to realistically win the title.
You played better. You played better.
I don't think Spurs should win the league. Listen, I'm not gonna come here and
you're saying we just shouldn't drop off in that manner.
You should not.
You shouldn't bottle twice.
I'm sorry, you should not. You should
because bear man, right?
Like,
you've done the league.
Be competing
exactly.
Like if you've got yourself, credit to Poch or whatever, that you have got yourself in a position.
Burns you to say that, innit?
It doesn't burn me.
Burns you to say that.
Ollie's at the wheel. It doesn't burn me to say nothing. So if you get Poch, Poch, credit to him, he got you guys to that position. Yeah. But then just sustain it. No one now. If Spurs went and finished third,
I disagree.
Let's go back. If Spurs finished third, 6-7 points off the title, I'll be like,
cool.
Wait,
does it really matter though how many points off you finish as long as you finish third?
Because now you're looking at you guys might.
You might not finish fourth.
We could. We still got to go to City and Liverpool. Like it could still turn south for us.
But how are you telling me? Let's take it back.
That's not.
We mentioned Liverpool.
You're acting like every team Arsenal, Chelsea, and United going to go on unbeaten runs till the end of the season.
Well, United are unbeaten at the moment.
United are looking good, but there's 2 spots there.
Yeah,
there's 2 spots
there.
At
the moment.
I trust, I said 2 weeks ago, I trust Arsenal and Chelsea to be more inconsistent than Spurs.
Okay.
The only thing that's ruined Spurs over the last couple of weeks is Harry Kane.
We were talking about Butler. We're going to get to Harry Kane anyway. We were talking about Butlers, right? So, like, if we're going to give Liverpool energy and say that Jurgen Klopp's a Butler and whatnot and all this type of lovely stuff.
Yeah.
If a manager is 5 points within, like, within that conversation, then drops off, then loses 2 cup matches in a week. Like,
why did he lose those cup matches?
You tell me.
You just said context, right? Did we not have the biggest injury hit?
Yeah, but you
context,
played
right?
Without injuries. You've played without injuries.
Well,
the injured man came back.
Nobody expected that though. Those
the
were the
injured
first
man
2
came
games
back
without our big players.
The
and
injured
Son
man came
wasn't
back.
even there.
What games are these?
The cup games, the
They
Carabao and the FA Cup. Son wasn't there either.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, we had no forward line. Imagine Liverpool without their front three. Toothless.
That injury, that was a mad injury hit.
It was a mad injury hit, and the thing was, we actually done well to get the points we did. I was surprised we didn't crumble
in
that.
the league with your injuries, you were doing well, yeah.
Yeah.
Until a certain guy
he came back from injury, and was this not supposed to elevate?
I'll be real with you. I think they rushed him back. I think they thought we needed him more than
I don't think so.
I think they rushed him back. Does he realistically look like he's pressing half as much as he normally does? Don't shake your head.
He's not.
No, he's not, bro.
I don't believe so.
No, he's not.
I don't think he was
I
rushed
feel
back.
like they're forcing him to almost rush back, and that's messed with the rhythm. Son's confidence, where he was skyrocketing and he was the focal point of the team.
I think he rushed
You're
back
now
for his own
having to
personal
pay
benefit,
second fiddle to Kane, and it's like
he's
after
top goal scorer at the moment.
Kane.
Yeah,
What?
So it doesn't surprise me that.
Oh, I thought you meant at
It
Tottenham. I
doesn't
thought you meant at
surprise me
Tottenham.
that Kane came back.
Listen, Kane is always in the top
goals,
3.
5 penalties. He's got 5 penalties this year, right? 5 more.
What's the
golden
problem? You
boot.
still got to score them.
Spurs no trophies.
You still got to score them.
Golden boot. That's a good year.
How was Chelsea's penalty shootout the other week?
No, it didn't go too well. But we're competing. That's the most important part.
The thing is,
the
thing is with Spurs, the thing with Spurs is that I kind of finally feel like now Spurs, because of this drop that's happening right now,
their final 4.
They're actually getting pressure on them now. It's actually like
before
Spurs have been.
This is the thing.
Spurs have always been through kind of like, I personally feel Spurs have always gone through like not that much pressure on them. They kind of just
100%.
But now it's like,
I've always said that.
Fucking sorry, I don't want to say it, but Pochettino, he's walking away. Like 2 minutes before the
thing happens,
like
final whistle.
He's looking frustrated. He's coming out. He's saying,
"What did he say in the
we
press conference?
We can't win. It's going to be 10 years till Spurs win."
Listen,
these
are
some of the
stuff.
These are comments of a very frustrated guy that I feel is starting to now finally feel the pressure, and now it might even become a thing. Ignore Manchester United. It might even be a thing that he might think, do you know what? This is long, and I knew this was going to happen because you guys didn't give me any money. So now I think.
I think for me, literally, what you're saying is spot on. I think now Spurs are actually where they're supposed to be, and they didn't want to be in this situation. All season, they've been performing above expectation by being close to City and Liverpool. But now they've tailed off this, we have to actually fight for this top 4 spot. We weren't expecting that. Poch as well, having done all of this in the last 4 years, keeping them above where they're supposed to be and not having given any money, he's shown that he deserves to be given that. What did you think of
his comment, though?
What, about the 10 years?
That's
him sending a message.
What's it called if he wants another Wonder Man? When he was talking about he can't do it. If he wants another Wonder Man, he should look. But it was part of the 10-year comment thing.
For me, the 10-year comment was the more pressing one. But I think for me, that isn't. I don't think he's genuine about it. I think he's more sending a message to the board where if you keep up this no spending policy, if you do this, sometimes you have to send a message via the media. And I think that was his way of saying, you don't back me this summer and give me 150, 200, whatever to spend. I'm going Madrid because Madrid's seat is wide open.
But being a Spurs fan, do you think anything's going to change?
I'll be honest with you. This summer is make or break for Spurs.
United have to play Spurs, right?
No more can we have the no expectation at the start of next
United
season.
are playing Arsenal, right?
We've got Arsenal.
So if United beat Arsenal,
they go
and
above.
Spurs for some weird reason,
now Spurs should get the business done. Now,
we've got Liverpool and City to play.
Yeah, that's in about 2 games.
Either way, how many games left? They've got to play those 2 teams.
United. The last 10 games will be interesting.
People are forgetting as also though. Like, as well as we're doing, because we're doing fantastic, but
you do have your own issues.
We have City and Chelsea in a row in our late into the season.
And that's what I mean. Every team in and around it,
it could change. It's going to be a very, very interesting.
I don't think any team is going to go on an unbeaten run. So for me to say,
there's a lot of pressure around that area. But I mean, see, we were talking about the top four. It's only right we mentioned the North London derby.
Well, no, we got away with that.
That was a cheat.
We got away with that.
That was a cheat.
Like, we got a goal that should have never been given, and then we saved a penalty last minute. Madness. When Aubameyang should have buried that, and that's just another thing. Can we press on? We were talking about Salah missing up in big games. Aubameyang in big games. I don't know what's going on.
If Arsenal win, right,
if there's ever a time to come on though and show you shouldn't have dropped me, I should be starting.
It's then.
That was the moment to shine, and once again he just goes chokes, and I'm like, when is someone gonna start pressing him? No one ever mentions it because his name is always in and around there with the top scorers. But people need to start looking at Aubameyang properly. And his general play as well. If you watch him, I think you were saying as well, it's awful. He doesn't offer anything when he's not scoring.
And this is why I don't have him in the top 5, in my top 5 in the Premier League strikers.
Run your top 5 again.
I don't need to say my top 5 again.
No, run it.
He knows Rashford ain't going to be in there.
No, run it again.
I just don't think his general play is that great at all.
Lacazette is the better striker, no?
No, I mean, we can agree.
Goals win games.
Aubameyang gets goals, but in terms of the all-round play,
general play, Lacazette is a better all-round player.
I think it's fair to say that.
But
I don't think anyone
can Lacazette get as many goals as?
Probably not.
That's where that was one of the biggest things they messed up yesterday as well. I feel they had us pretty much the whole game, and then Lacazette had a lot of chances as well. Maybe he didn't finish them.
He was his lines yesterday.
But no, but he was in the right places. I feel like when you're putting a team pressure on,
let's keep the same energy though. Yeah, he's getting the chances, but he's not putting them away.
But the thing is, you've got Spurs. Arsenal had Spurs pressed in their own home. You should have gone for blood then. Aubameyang and Lacazette should have been playing together for me.
That's fair.
Because I don't know why this is another thing with Poch, where sometimes tactically he does these weird things. When you know 15 minutes before the game, why are you playing 3 centre-backs to mark 1 striker? What was the benefit to having 3 centre-backs? Because 2 of them were marking space and not doing anything.
And one of them was doing useless stuff.
And gave away the penalty.
Davinson Sanchez had
useless stuff.
Super rash.
Useless stuff.
He had
and for me, it's the first goal, even the Aaron Ramsey one. It took 1 ball over 3 centre-backs. So if 1 ball can beat 3 centre, why are you playing 3 centre-backs? And as soon as we switched to the 2, we started to look a lot better. But it's these small tactical decisions where I questioned Poch. Everyone gives him these high praise and all of this, but in the big games last year, I remember Carabao Cup, he played a weekend side. This season, FA Cup, don't know what he was doing.
You just said you had injuries.
We had injuries, but there was still he dropped Trippier, was it, or he dropped a couple of big players that he still could have played. Eriksen was it? He didn't take it at all, and I was like, there's certain times where I'm just questioning Poch's tactical decisions, and I'm just like, you messed up. Yesterday, I knew from the start we were going to be
I agree, but I think ultimately, like we said, context is so important because you're the first person to admit you don't have a bench. You don't have a bench.
And that's been our biggest killer.
If you look at where Spurs are now, right? Imagine if he was going gun-ho on all of them games, right? Imagine potential injuries you would have now compared to injuries you actually have.
It'd be even worse.
Your situation right now could be a lot worse. Like, it's not a bad situation, but it's like, based on how you started, you should never be in this situation.
It's crazy. We sold Dembele in January as well, and Kudu, we're offloading. Listen, we need as many bodies as we can at the minute. But look, that's exactly. This is what we've got on the bench, though. And you're telling me we should win title. You're telling me we should win title.
Man said in Kudu.
This is what I'm telling you. This is what we got on the
bench.
At
Burnley.
We gotta live with this.
Couldn't start for Burnley.
We gotta live with this.
But the thing is, you got what's his name? You got Lucas Moura.
Yeah,
Lucas Moura was injured. He's been out injured.
He's also been. It hasn't helped that he hasn't actually performed. But there was a point where Lucas Moura was looking.
Start of the season was looking very.
Lamelo's one's interesting. He tries. Like when I see Lamela on the pitch, like he's actually trying, but the lack of end product.
More now known for his rash tackles and headless runs.
Yeah,
when we signed him, I thought we were getting a very technical Argentine player, and it's been like 3-4 years now,
and it's not.
Nothing's come off.
It's not worked out.
But yesterday, I thought that result we were lucky to even get it. If I'm honest, a draw was we didn't.
You helped United out. Put it that way.
The top 4 is looking kind of pretty. Who's in the top 4? Can you just say who's in the top 4 quickly?
Can you say it?
Can you just say who's in the top 4? Can you just say who's in
the
top 4?
Do you not have eyes?
Is that? I can see green arrow next to Man United. Does that mean we're in the top 4? Does that mean we're in the top 4? Listen.
Well, listen. What did you lot think? What did you lot think of the derby?
Of the North
honest,
London?
It was a very.
I think it was an alright game, to be honest.
I've got something I want to highlight quickly.
Go on.
Context is context. That's the word for today. Context. But certain individuals were telling me that Torreira was this, you know.
I mean, but he came off the bit. That was
but my thing is right. It wasn't a red card, but my thing is ultimately right. People need to keep the same energy and whatnot. This that. There's been a lot of games, right, and people admit, but there's been a lot of games where goals have been conceded because he doesn't follow his run and this and what. People make him out to be something that's this fantastic entity, and it's like people need to be careful because at the end of the day now, if you go and look at stuff, right, he's causing that team a few problems.
No, but he's also
helping them a lot, but he's causing them problems.
Playing with Xhaka, remember that?
He's caused them problems.
Playing with Xhaka.
Arsenal's DM.
Xhaka's actually playing well.
No, Arsenal's DM position has always.
Xhaka's playing well
since Vieira left. Arsenal's DM position has always been
a massive hole.
It's been a hole, but it's always been overrated once they have someone that can play in there. Coquelin and stuff. They even hyped up Janilson and we only got him for 5 million.
Bad.
What happens is they get someone that does well for a little sec and they think, yes,
because
it's something that Arsenal needs so much. When you have someone that's actually doing all right there, because let's keep it real, Coquelin was doing all right at a point. Yeah. It's like he's the best thing. Overhype it, and then it's like, listen, just calm down. Torreira's still going to have to go through that adaptation period and stuff. He came in full-blooded, was doing his thing.
But the season's a long season.
It was weird though. Yes,
season's a long season.
I don't know why they.
It wasn't a red card though.
No, it wasn't a red card. But I don't know why Torreira, Ozil, and Aubameyang didn't start. That for me baffled me.
Well, the Ozil didn't start because of the Ramsey thing, which, you know, if you look at it.
I mean, Ozil.
Why can't they play together? Why can't you play Torreira, Ramsey, and Ozil in a 4-2-3-1?
He likes Guendouzi, innit?
What does Guendouzi actually bring? I've been hearing all this raving and hyping all season. Yeah. Aside from sideways passing and a nice hairstyle, what does he bring?
Is that not the same as Wijnaldum, though? If we're going to keep the energy the same, because I said that 10 minutes ago.
I've seen Wijnaldum score big goals. I've seen Wijnaldum score big goals.
Guendouzi,
so
the thing about Guendouzi,
what does he actually bring to the table? What? A killer pass?
No, but he doesn't bring any of that. But
he doesn't.
He brings kind of like.
He's just
like
19. That's all I hear.
He's just 19.
He's 19. He brings like a bravery. He brings like a bravery. He wants to get the ball. He gets on the ball. You know what I mean?
This is an example of what you're saying, though.
Doesn't really like getting the ball in the lines. And
Shaka's brave. How many yellow cards is he getting?
No, that's different. That's different. I'm talking about on the ball. He's brave on the ball. He's not. He doesn't mind.
What's that? What is that yielding for them?
This is what I'm saying. Because right now,
because the thing is, right, we can be sentimental.
We have to have but we have to have someone that reflects the manager's system.
Listen,
and there's always a player for
it's like Jorginho with Chelsea. I get that.
Jorginho.
But at the end of the day, right,
this guy's come from Liga 2, whatever they want to call it. I'm like, you cannot come from the second division in France and tell me you're walking into the Arsenal lineup.
Well, Kante walked into Leicester and made them look.
Kante is a different breed.
No, but you made the example. These are the facts.
No, but these are the facts. No, that is an exception.
No, but you said it.
Are you trying to compare Guendouzi to Kante?
No, you said you can't come from League 2.
Yes, to a certain extent. What did he do? Where did Kante went Leicester first?
And he won the league. He won the league.
And who expected Leicester to win the
himself?
Is Guendouzi winning Arsenal the league?
Mahrez came from that division as well.
And he helped Leicester win the league. I get that. But what is Guendouzi doing for Arsenal?
Yeah, but...
Cam said he's showing bravery.
He's a poor man's Jorginho right now.
I don't think
he's a poor man's Jorginho.
Nah, that's harsh.
He's a poor man's Jorginho. 19-year-old or not, I don't care. I expect more.
Alright, cool. So with everything we said though, right, it's clear that the teams that are battling for this top 4, right, all have, like, Spurs have injuries or, you know, bottling mentality, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Chelsea have managed to sneak back into this whole situation, and we're messed. Chelsea's a mess.
We look the best fit to get to the top 4. I'm not gonna lie.
You do.
We look the best fit to get to the
top 4.
Bar
their injuries.
We have a deep enough squad. I believe Manchester have a deep enough squad. Not necessarily deep enough squad in very top quality, but we have a deep enough squad.
So I was going to say,
so
one injury to
Rashford
Pogba,
decides
your
that
team
he's
done.
not going to play with the knock, what happens then?
If what?
If Rashford decides he's not going to play with the knock anymore, what happens?
Rashford ain't key anyway, man. They can replace that.
You're an idiot.
What, Lukaku ain't doing bits right now?
You're an idiot.
Actually,
What, Lukaku ain't better than Rashford?
Can we revisit something quickly? No, your top 5 was Lukaku in your top 5
a couple weeks ago.
Lukaku's not in my top 5.
Okay, cool. Because I just want to.
But Lukaku,
I think I received a WhatsApp message from you.
That's what I'm saying. Rashford's in this.
I received a
undisputed.
WhatsApp from you saying something about we need to give Lukaku his flowers because he's the 19th top goal scorer in the Premier League.
It's true.
So how is this person not better than Rashford and not in your top 5?
He's just not.
What do you mean?
I watch Man United week in, week out, and his general play is just not good enough. So credit to Lukaku for doing what he's doing.
Okay, so who's your top 5?
Because
you never stated it.
I don't need to say my
I'm
top
interested.
Go
I
wheel
want to
the
know.
video back.
Bro, do you know how many comments we've had since then?
Tell us
you know
your
my
top 5.
I don't need to.
We've been asking. What's your top 5?
Rashford. Rashford's in there. That's all
cool.
people need to
Who
know.
else?
That's
No, come on.
No, we can close
don't be
case there. We can close case there.
What?
Rashford is in your top 5
Listen,
still.
why are we talking about Rashford? Let's talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, please.
Yeah, no, that's what we're going into.
Trying to deflect. Stop trying to deflect.
That's what we're going into.
Guys are trying to deflect from the amazing job that Ole is doing. Yeah.
Okay. What's he doing?
Please, let's. What do you mean? What's he doing?
Tell us.
Since Ole's taken over, United will be on the top of the form table. In the 12 games,
what trophy do you get for
haven't
that?
lost.
Nice.
Is Solskjaer going to win a trophy
Manager
right
of the
now?
month. Manager of the month.
That's a trophy.
So what, if you not?
Well, actually, no, that's a bit cheeky because when Pochettino won.
We closed the 13.
Did he not win Manager of the month?
We've closed a 10
He
point
won Manager of the month.
I'll be honest.
We closed a 10-point gap on you lot
I know.
since Ole's taken over.
He's done a good job.
So how can you say that he's not doing? What are you trying to say?
No, but
I don't.
to be
I
honest,
said he's got manager of the month. Why is he getting touched?
London manager of whatever, Pochettino watched it and he said that I finally won a trophy. I thought that was quite telling. It's quite poetic.
No, it's a
no,
wait,
Ollie.
Ollie.
Why are you trying to sabotage?
For me, and I know, what was it, like 2-3 weeks ago, I was here and I said, Poch, I would probably take Poch in charge.
What's your statement now?
Absolutely not.
What, anything
Ole,
Poch?
listen, they need to give Ole the job now, like right now. I want that announced tomorrow that he's in charge. What he's done, it's nearly miraculous.
But
it's nearly miraculous. Every single player, which I said about Jose, Jose made every player worse. Ole has made every single player better. There's not one player that's
if they announce it now,
what he was doing under
if they
Jose.
announce it now, what does that do for the rest of your season?
It lets the players know that, boom, this guy's going to be in charge. And as people are saying, because sometimes you get an interim manager, maybe people are just playing with you, like no pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
But they know this guy's going to be in charge. If we don't perform or whatever, he's now going to be in control of if we're in or we're out in the summer, etc. So I would want them to announce it now. People are saying, "Oh no, wait, mate! I've seen enough. It's been a long time. Cool. I've seen enough. He's gone away to all the big teams. He's done enough. I have seen enough."
But you know what? We're dancing around the bush here. Let's get direct here, right? United fan, Spurs fan, Chelsea fan. If we are saying that City have won the league, that means Liverpool are second, right? You still have to go to Arsenal.
We're finishing third. Like I'm very
confirmed.
I'm very confident. Confirmed.
So
I can't wait.
Just to put context, Manchester United are finishing third.
I believe we'll finish third. And if he finishes third, he should get manager of the season as well, potentially.
Okay.
He should get
wait.
Why? This is
no.
Wait.
Come on.
Because if you're talking about comebacks, what about City's comeback to Liverpool?
What do you mean? This is.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
This
is United.
But that's what. No, wait.
This is United.
Time out. Let that time out because. You see, this
how can you compare Manchester City to Manchester United?
Yeah, but you said how can you compare City to Spurs? Keep your energy.
This guy.
You just said with the Spurs thing. With the Spurs thing, you said you can't compare the two. You said that City were only 5 points behind. When we were talking about City, Spurs, and Liverpool, right?
What? You tried to draw Spurs. You tried to City. You are closer to City than Spurs.
No. I'm trying to help you. Relax.
No.
I'm trying to help.
From a player's aspect, quality,
don't listen to him.
Squad.
Don't listen to him. He's misconstruing my point. What I'm trying to say is, right, what you just said. Listen. Wait.
know.
So obviously, you have to be your brother's keeper. So I have to pick you up for what you said. What you said now, is he should win the manager of the year because of the adversity he's come over and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
That's not.
And then you said that it's expected of City to be where they are. No, so what's it called?
What do you mean it's expected?
He just said what's it called?
City's comeback to Liverpool,
and you said it's expected. It's City
into the top 4 is the same.
You said and what you said is no, but wait. You said
how the hell?
Wait. You said and it's City. My thing is right. Then what you said about Spurs doesn't go then because we should have expected City to go over Spurs because it's City. You can't get out
I
Spurs
never
then.
said that Spurs should finish ahead of City.
You did.
When the hell did I say that Manchester United...
That's what you was implying.
No, I wasn't. I clearly said...
Listen,
back
to what you were saying. You're finishing third.
If United...
Who's finishing fourth?
I think...
I don't care about Oli. Who's finishing fourth?
Spurs. I'm saying it.
Yeah, I'm still going to go Spurs.
I'm going Chelsea.
I reckon you know.
I'm going... You lose to Liverpool, you lose to City.
I reckon we're the
You lose 6 points.
I reckon we're the
Nah,
final
do you know what? Yeah,
I reckon you lose 6 points.
Nah. To be honest, yeah, every single time I have seen Spurs have a tough run, they survive it. So I don't think they're gonna lose.
Fair.
I don't think they're gonna lose to.
I think
maybe your argument aren't told you that, but I feel that.
Watch.
Huh?
I think we'll finish Liverpool's title bid.
Don't worry, it's finished already. It's done. But I honestly feel you're losing to who's your next game?
I'll have to check the fixture list.
Who's your next game?
Don't forget, Chelsea have got Europa and stuff coming as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they've got. But what? Spurs haven't got Champions League.
Yeah, but you lot have games as well, so you can't.
That's fine.
So you lot will actually matter more because.
And we're gonna bounce out to PSG as well.
You lot. If top four ain't going so well for you lot will have to start taking Europa League serious.
100%. But we both have games that we.
If you see.
So are you trying to imply that you're going to Champions League just to have fun, or you're not going to try and win your games as well?
Listen, Spurs, I'm not expecting
Spurs can go. They could be a dark horse in Champions League.
Exactly. So what we're saying is exactly the same thing. Both teams are competing on multiple fronts.
Yeah. But to be
and
honest, I
you have two tough games.
I still back Spurs. I think you lot have shown this season that you lot have a tendency to choke up more.
I think Chelsea
and so have you.
I think Spurs have just
and
a
so
bit
have
more.
you.
I think they've just got that extra edge in
you
terms
lost
of
two
quality.
cup games in a week.
Context. What did we say?
Context is key.
Injuries, right? How much impact did the injuries have on those two cup
Crystal
exits?
Palace 2-0.
And it took you to penalties.
Did Trippier hit the post?
Trippier
missed a pen in that game.
It took Chelsea all the way to penalties.
Was it
to beat injury-ravaged Spurs? Can you imagine that?
Was it Trippier that missed a pen?
The thing is,
shocking team.
You're
shocking team.
There's gonna be a lot of movement. Everyone's just writing off Arsenal. How do we know Arsenal don't?
Well, they keep sticking. I mean, if Arsenal
keep sticking around,
if Arsenal beat you on Saturday,
exactly, then all of a sudden,
how likely is that? How likely is that?
I don't think it's likely, man. I don't think it's likely.
Okay, what happens? What happens if it happens?
If it happens, what does it do? We're still going to be in the top 4 race, so it's not really going to change anything. I'm telling you, I'm very confident on Manchester United's chances now.
Okay, that's fine. Are
you
you going to give us your top 5?
Since you were singing Ollie's praises, sorry, say that again.
Are you still going to give us your top 5 strikers?
Bro, DB don't need to know my top 5.
Okay.
They don't need to know that.
Since you were singing Ollie's praises and all of that, obviously this season it feels like he's the interim guy. Maybe there's not as much pressure on him. Gets the summer. If he gets that nice big war chest, what's the expectation for
United next year?
For United next year?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Tell me it's anything less than a title.
As in, like, if he... Oh, no. 100%. Next season, we got to be having a title race. No, that is a fact. Next season, it's not no...
You have to be having a title race. That means that you don't have to win.
I don't want to be here in January, we're third and...
No. Next season is different. Because now this is my thing.
What Liverpool are doing this season.
This is my thing. If Poch came in, let's just say, or a new manager. Let me not just say Poch. If a new manager came in, next season will be another... All right, let's just get the top 4 first. Let this guy settle. No, now Ole's got in. He's worked to these players. Just gets a war chest of money to spend. Next season, I do expect a title race. 100%. I'm not going to make any excuses for if we're not in the title race next season. Cool. Definitely, because he's got the players, and I've always said we have quality players. Yeah, so he's got the players performing at their level. As I said, Pogba's looking like the best player in the league.
Phil Jones and Smalling are still going to be around, though. Phil Jones and Smalling are still going to be around.
See, the thing about Phil Jones and Smalling is they're not great players, but they try. This is what I mean by we're a deep squad. Like, it's not deep of a lot of quality, but
there's depth. There's depth.
All right, now I wouldn't want them all season.
That's what I'm saying, because a lot of the times I look at it, one of the two is always playing, and I'm like, how does this seem
back to what we said? If you have a war chest of money, you can pay over cracks,
and hopefully we should be.
In summary, though, so what? City winning the league.
Yeah, City
is Klopp a bum?
I mean, a bum is harsh, but he's not what people make out.
You call him a fraud. You might as well call him a bum.
Yeah, exactly. A bum. You called him a fraud.
Nah. A bum is a lot different to a fraud. A bum is a lot different. He just flatters.
And United are finishing third.
Yeah.